Hello guys and welcome to another Blender tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cool little cloth pressure animation in Blender 2.92. If you've never messed around with cloth pressure, it's kind of a setting within the cloth system that allows you to make something kind of like blow up. And I'm going to show you how to kind of add a little object here to interact with it. And if this is kind of like a little boring tutorial, you can always check out some other stuff on my channel, but this is something that you may like. So if you do, keep watching and I'll show you step by step how to make this fun little scene here. So I've gone ahead and opened up a new scene in Blender 2.92, and to get started I'm just going to select the default cube over here and I'm going to tab into edit mode, and for all of the geometry selected here we're just going to go S, Z and flatten it on the Z. So just make it as flat as you want. I'm going to go with something like this. We're just kind of making this little tray for our cloth sim to sit in, and then we're going to just go over here to our face select option. Simply just click on the top face here and then go I, so hit the I key on your keyboard and that's going to create an inset. So we're just going to do a little bit of an inset like that, and then we're going to go E to extrude, and just if it by default it will be restricted to the Z axis, so just bring it down like this, just a little bit, just to kind of create like this kind of like tray sort of thing for our cloth to happen. It's kind of just more like a visual thing, but I think it looks pretty cool. So with that done, we still have this face here active. We're going to go Shift D to duplicate it, just right click to let go and then hit P and go separate by selection. So now that face that we duplicated is its own object, so tab out of edit mode. And now you can see we have our original object here, our cube that's now a tray, and then if we click here we have the new duplicated object here. Okay, so this new duplicated object face, we're going to tab into edit mode, and while we're in edit mode we're going to hit A to select everything. We're going to right click and we're going to click here on subdivide. Now we're going to come here to the subdivide button, and this can vary, but for mine I'm going to go with something like 70. So I've got 70 subdivisions here, and while I've got everything active here I'm going to go G, Z and just bring it up just a tiny bit like that. So just G, Z, that'll do the job. Now we don't want our cloth just to go everywhere, so we need to kind of give it a pinned group. A pinned group is essentially just going to be a selection of verts or vertices here that is going to stay pinned the whole time. So what we're going to do is go over here to our vertex select option, deselect everything, and then if you go Shift, Alt, and you hold those two in, you can click here on an edge, and then while you're still holding it in, just Shift and Alt, just click on all the edges, and it'll also loop select these verts over here. Simply go to your object data properties, go to your vertex groups, click plus, and then go assign while those are still active. So now if you deselect everything and with that group selected, you can click select and you can see it's all active. So let's just double click on this group. Let's just call it pin, so we know it's a pin group. Then we're going to tab out of edit mode, and let's just do one quick thing here. We're going to select this box over here, the tray, and we're just going to go to our physics and let's just give it a collision property here, so the cloth knows to interact with it. And then obviously we want an object, this is optional, the pressure thing will still work, but I think just adding in an animated object to interact looks really cool. So let's go Shift A, and something like a sphere or something smooth would work better, but I'm just going to go with the Suzanne monkey head because it's just so cool. And I'm just going to go and give it a subdivision surface modifier. I come to the object mode here with that head still selected, and I'm going to go shade smooth. So now it's got nice smooth shading. Then with it still active, I'm going to go S to scale it down to about here. And now you can see we have the monkey head. Then I'm going to go R, X, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit on the X, and then G, Z, and I'm just bringing it up till it's just kind of above this tray over here. Once you've rotated and scaled it, make sure to go Control A and then go Apply Rotation and Scale. Okay, that's super important when we're working with cloth and physics. Now we can get into the fun part. So let's select the actual cloth sheet here. And just so we can see it in the viewport better, I'm just going to go to the materials here. And by default, it has a material that comes from the cube, but let's just get rid of that. Click on New, and let's just go down to our viewport display. And let's just make the color whatever. Okay, just so you can see it kind of stand apart. You can make it anything you want. And now we're going to select the Suzanne monkey head, and we're going to give it a quick animation. So let's just come over here to the timeline. I'm going to come to frame 30. In frame 30, I'm going to go with this monkey head selected. I'm going to hit I and insert a location keyframe. Then I'm going to come up to about frame 60. Then I'm going to go G, X, and move it over to here. And I'm going to go I, insert a location keyframe. Then I'm going to come up to frame 90, and I'm going to go G, X, and kind of move it back in the middle, but just a little bit more to the left. and I'm going to hit I and insert a location keyframe. So now it just has 3 location keyframes that it's going to animate across. And let's come here to our end value and just make it 100. So we're only working with 100 frames for this animation. And now that we have that all done, also just with the monkey selected, so the cloth interacts with it, just simply go over here to your physics settings and give it a collision as well. And now we can simply get into our cloth. So select the cloth here, or the thing that's going to be our cloth, and go to the physics tab, and this time I'm going to click on cloth. And now we're going to make sure to just go to frame 1. And let's go and do a few basic things here. So we're going to go down over here to physics properties. So drop down the cloth and then go to the physics properties. And we're just going to come here all the way to the bottom, and you're going to see something here called pressure, right? And now the pressure strength here is going to be up to experimentation. It really depends on the scale, and I found even the density of your geometry. But I'm going to go with a pressure value of 21 or 22. That's what I kind of found works really well for this sort of animation we're going for here. So the pressure is just how much pressure it's going to inflate it by. And then what we need to do is we need to come down here to the shape. And this is the important part. We need to come here to the pinned group. And earlier, you remember in the object data properties, we created a vertex group. So go ahead and select that pin group. And then we need to come here to the shrinking factor. Now here, we're going to make it in the negatives. So I'm going to go and make something like negative 0.2. So just type in minus 0.2 on your keyboard and hit enter. And while you're on frame 1, if you now hit the space bar, you're going to see this animation happening here. And that looks really cool. And our Suzanne monkey head will move in this animation. It's going to be very slow at first because we haven't cached anything out. And it's going relatively fast. It's not too slow. But one thing that's going to make this look better, if you also just select the cloth, go to object mode and enable shade smooth. And one thing you can also do, but it's going to slow the animation down a bit, but I'd recommend it, under your physics, just go down to the collisions tab and give it self collision. So now the cloth won't just be interacting with the collision objects, but it'll also interact with itself. But obviously that's going to be more processor intensive, so it's going to take a bit longer, but it'll look pretty cool. So let's go over to frame 1. And with our cloth seal here selected and all of those settings the way they need to be, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to our cache. And we're going to come over here to the start, and we're going to make sure it's 1. But the end value here, we're going to make 100. Remember, we changed our end frame value down here to 100. So we only want the animation to be caching out for 100 frames. Anything more will be unnecessary and a waste of computing power. Then we're going to come over here. Obviously, just make sure to save before you cache anything. So I'm just saving the blend file here, and I'm going to click on bake. And now you can see this blue line down here kind of just moving through the timeline. And when this is done baking, we're going to come back and we're going to see what this animation looks like. And here we have it. It's now done caching out. So now if we go to frame 1 and we hit the spacebar to play the animation, you can see this is what we have. And obviously, if you want the quality of it to be better, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but you can kind of delete your bake over here. Go back to your cloth settings and just bump up the quality settings here wherever it says quality. It'll take longer, but it'll give you a better quality result. Another thing you can do is once you've cached it out and you've got that cloth, just go to your modifiers and just give it a subdivision surface modifier, and that'll help smooth things out as well. So that's been how you can do this, and it's like I said, I didn't explain all the features exactly what they are, but this is kind of just showing you how to do this fun little thing you can make and share with your friends, or experiment, try out some different things with it. I don't know. This is just an example I've kind of made up. So I'll see you guys next time for another tutorial. And if this has been boring, you don't like this one, go check out some other stuff. I do more interesting things like character tutorials and things like that on my channel. So I'll see you guys next time.